supernatural out here. Please welcome to the stage, Mark Sheppard. It's time to wake up, Mark. Come on.
I've never seen R2 move like that.
Welcome to Seattle. Seattle, you
Stay
guys
there.
are so
Where are
excited
you
Mark's
going?
here, right?
No, you get to stay there. Why does he get to leave?
Well, he, you know, sometimes we call him back on. I mean, it just
You could
depends.
just leave him there. He's
do
working.
you need a DJ for the panel?
Possibly.
What do you like? Like, what's your?
Well, when I say something funny, I need a ba-bum-ch.
Yeah, we would like you to.
There you go. It's pretty good, right?
And
You
if
know
it's
how
a
to work for
little,
living.
if it's just a little funny, just a small one, okay?
That's what she said. You missed the cue.
No, I play.
Mark, welcome to Seattle. Thank you so much for coming. Are you guys happy he's here?
He ran away.
He went away, but he'll be back. Trust me.
Yeah.
It's hard to stay off this stage.
Hi, Claire.
Hi. There is so much I want to talk to you about, but I kind of want to. I kind of want to start by asking.
It's not about Disney's oh shit, is it?
What?
That was going to be my next film. You just blew my next film completely. That's okay.
She's really sorry. She keeps yelling. He is really sorry. It's very dark up here.
That's
but
my,
you look good
that's
either
my
way.
next T-shirt.
All right. Did you ever imagine that your arc on Supernatural would last for 8 seasons and that you would be sitting here addressing such a passionate, intelligent fan base?
Don't stretch it that far, for God's sakes. They're not that intelligent. I'm the king of hell, for God's sake. Shut up, you. You're not the boss of me.
When you first read for the character, did you even know?
It was a really weird thing. It was like, I've told a story, but it's fun. I knew there was a great guy called Kim Manners who worked on X-Files and a whole bunch of other stuff in the years. And I did an episode of Mantis with him that killed the series. And it's like he was shouting at me one day. They give me like, oh God, they give me the worst dialogue ever written in an episode of television that I've ever read in my life. The chrysostolic dawn of the cyberspatial age. Ah, Dr. whatever his name was, I suppose you've refocused your attention on neural biotechnology. Words like this do not flow easily from the mouth. So they gave me pages and pages of this crap, and I was on second cherry pages. If you know anything about script revisions, they change color every time. So second cherry is about the 15th revision of a script. And this is like 2 days before I'm actually shooting it. So we've gone through 15 changes in 2 days.
Oh, boy.
So now I'm having to forget the middle section of a scene this long. It just doesn't make any sense. So it was really hard to do. And Kim was running out of time, and he shouted at me. So I shouted back at him. And then we went and had dinner and became friends. So, and he kept going like, you got to be on the show. The boys are great. You love the boys. The boys are great. It's a great show. It's really cool. So I'm like, yeah. And I love Kim dearly. He was a very grumpy guy. Back in the old days, he worked on, he directed episodes of 21 Jump Street and did all sorts of crazy stuff. He was famous for having his motorbike ready and calling action, getting on his bike and going home.
Amazing.
Yeah, he's crazy. Grumpy bastard. But loved him dearly on Supernatural. But I'd never done Supernatural. I'd never been asked to do Supernatural. It was just weird. And then, unfortunately, he passed, and it was a very sad time. He passed rather quickly. He got sick and passed rather quickly. And suddenly Supernatural called, and it was like, oh, okay, this has got to be a bit of a gag. So I looked at and I'm like, okay, Ben Edlund wrote this. This is going to be fun. And I'm like, oh, I'm kissing a 70-year-old man under a bridge. Did I ever tell you about kissing the 70-year-old man at the bridge? I never told you this, did I? So they cannot, in Canada, the most liberal of countries in the world, they cannot find a day player that will kiss another man who's 70 years old. I'm like, you got to be kidding. I agree. Exactly how I felt. So they couldn't find a guy. They couldn't find a 70-year-old man as day player. Believe it or not, day players get paid a lot of money.
Yeah, this is in Vancouver,
Canada.
right?
Vancouver is good money because they busted the union so they don't get residuals. But so you can, whereas if you're a day player in the States, you're lucky if you get $750, you know, and you're sort of hoping that it'll residualize and you'll get whatever, and you might get paid in 10 years' time. In Canada, you could get like $3,000 to do a day's work. So everyone went like, I'm not kissing a guy under a bridge. And I'm like, is it me? And it's like, well, they don't know it's you. So I'm like, okay, great. And they finally found this guy, and I'll never forget him. His name is L. Harvey Gold. And L. Harvey Gold was about 6'2", 6'3". He's in his late 60s. And he was used to playing judges and lawyers and fun day playing stuff. Oh, yes, water. And the idea intellectually of kissing a man under the bridge at the crossroads was fine with him until it actually came down to it.
Right.
So me being me, I'm a sarcastic bastard. So I'd be joking away with him. And the more I joked away with him, the worse an actor he became. So he got comfortable and he couldn't do it.
Right.
So Phil who was directing, Phil Scritcher was directing, he goes, stop talking to him. I'm like, but if I stop talking to him, he gets really nervous. So it was this combination of like, if I talked to him, he was happy and he couldn't act. And if I didn't talk to him, he started thinking about kissing a man under a bridge and couldn't do it. So it ends up where it didn't help that just before I kissed him, I said, pucker up, buttercup. There's something wrong with me. So kissing is like kissing a piece of paper. It's like it's the most uninspiring thing in the world. But trying to kiss a 6'3" man who is sweating profusely, who's fighting you. Right. I'm like grabbing the back of his cold, clammy head with the little hairs on the back. And it's like, ah! And, you know, now I understand dating.
And were you standing on an apple box?
No.
Oh, so you
I had
also
to pull him down.
You had to pull him down.
Listen, and the crew that I ended up spending 8 long seasons with were just lined up on the wall. Peter, the dolly grip, was just looking at me. He's the quietest guy in the world. He's just like going. It's a guy who climbed Everest recently.
It sounds like
cool.
it. And
but so you know, one episode turns into 8 years of neck strain. I'm not a short actor. Ruth is a short actor. Ruth is a very short actor. Ruth is like 3'2" or something. I don't know. But she's a wee bit, you know. But I'm not fun-sized. Jared is 6'5". And then when we take pictures, they go up on their tippy toes. I'm like, I look like I'm 4'8". This is terrible. It's so rude. I mean, when I met Danielle, Jensen's wife, it was like, she goes, yeah, people was like, oh, what's your husband? Oh, he's an actor. Oh, what show? Oh, he's on Supernatural. Is he the tall one or the short one? He's 6'2". It's like, yeah, I married the short one on Supernatural. And Misha's over 6 feet. And I'm like, hi, guys. And then they always stand on tiptoes in pictures. There's a creation photograph. And they're literally 6 inches higher than they normally are. It's just me going like this.
And that's unusual in television,
It's
you know?
very unusual.
Yeah, very unusual. So let's cut to the end. You released, after your final episode, you released a charity T-shirt. And
yes.
And it said, even when I lose, I win.
Yes.
And I would love
bit personal there, a bit angry.
It is a bit personal, but it's not angry. Actually, I find it really poignant. And I would love for you, if you feel comfortable sharing, what the impetus behind that was.
All right. Okay. If you haven't seen episodes 21 to 23 of season 12, go home.
Yeah.
You know, there's a rule. If you don't want to know the score, don't go to the pub. So anyway, they wrote 21, and I get stabbed. I get killed in 21. So I called Andrew, and I was like, "You got a bit of a problem here. So Lucifer's killing me in 21, but he doesn't really kill me, but I don't spark out. So this doesn't make a lot of sense, because he's going to kind of know I'm not dead." And he's like, "Yeah, I know. We got a bit of a problem with that." He said, "Well, what are we doing?" I said, "Well, in 23, I'll send you the script to 23." So he wrote the script to 23, sent me 23, and there's all these speeches about, I don't know, Fergus and all this bollocks that had nothing to do with anything. And it was awful. It was bloody awful. And it was a placeholder. It was a temporary stopgap for what he was doing. And so I wrote him a letter and I said, listen, you know, we've spent a long time doing this together. And if I'm going to go, you know, I sent him a clip of Rutger Hauer in Blade Runner dying at the end. I said, that's a death. Do that. I'll wear the compression shorts. Get me Harrison Ford. And I'll do that. But he's like, look, no, you're right. And I talked about it. I said, look, I don't care about the Fergus stuff. I don't care about any of it. I said, there's a line where they say, Rowena's dead. And I'm like, yeah, right. And they go, Lucifer. And I said, I need to put a line in there. He said, what do you want to put in? I said, funny, I always thought it was going to be me that killed her. And I'm like, that's so mean. I'm like, it's absolutely accurate. Mm-hmm. It worked. He's like, yeah, you got a point. So we did all this stuff, and he sent me the script, and it had, I was talking about, you know, Crowley doesn't care about any of this stuff. He's just won and won and won. He keeps on winning, and he's always winning. And even when, you know, even when he loses, he wins. It's like, and Jeremy had said to me, he's writing all these things for me to happen, for Crowley to happen. I said, you do realize I'm going to play it as though I knew what the outcome was anyway. He goes, yeah, you always do. So Crowley is always about winning. It was never about losing. The loss never registered on him, which is an interesting thing. And so he wrote this thing, and he put this amazing piece in about not wanting to do my job, which was kind of interesting. I hated this job for so long. You know, I tried to keep this job for so long, I never knew I hated it. It was a very interesting piece to write. And I did all this stuff, and I got it in there, and it was like, and it was this amazing moment in Men of Letters when I'm like, yeah, just winning. You have no idea what it takes for me to win is what I was really talking about. And at the end, when Lucifer's facing me and he goes, you know you're going to lose. I'm like, you know, funny you should say that. Because even when I lose, I win. And it's just a really poignant piece. And I was really happy about it and really excited about it. And then I saw episode 23 and they cut it out. And I was like, yeah, blow it out your ass.
It's such the perfect wrap up to the character, though.
But that's what it was. And it really was the thing of, you know, you have no idea what it is to be Crowley. You see this fun, jovial demon. But, you know, the other side of it is so dark and so weird. There's so many things I wished I'd done with it, and there were so many things I wished they'd done with it. I thought Ruth was fantastic. There's no, you know, my character can't have a mother. It doesn't make any sense at all. It's not me. Crowley doesn't have a mother. There is no way of doing that. Crowley's mother doesn't make sense in any sort of version of the law. And I was always disappointed that they didn't make her my ex-wife. Or, you know, I mean, It would have been absolutely brilliant. It would have been terrifying. It would have made her 10 times more dangerous. And you know what I'm saying? It would have been, and she's brilliant. She's absolutely amazing, but she played the hell out of it. No disrespect to her at all. So I ended up having to play Rowena as the symbol of a mother. And well, everybody else has got a bloody mother. Why shouldn't I have one?
Right.
I'll take Fergus's mother. Fine. But you should be looking after me the way you should have looked after Fergus. So I played it that way, and it kind of worked, and I kind of enjoyed it. But it ran its course. It did what it did. So I had 8 years, and even when I lose, I win. It's kind of fun.
I love that. Don't you guys? Thank you for sharing that. We're going to take questions. You guys can line up in the aisles. And while they line up, I want to ask you, you've always been a performer, a musician as well.
No, I'm a drummer.
Well,
I'm a guy who hangs out with musicians.
You're like the coolest musician. And now you're playing in a band, the LA
I'm playing in the same band I was playing in 1981.
Well, tell everyone about it because it's pretty amazing.
There's an artist called Robyn Hitchcock who I played with for years and years and years, back when I was a kid. And I started playing again around, Loud and Swain were playing around Supernatural, and Billy got me back playing. And it just became this thing, and it just mushroomed into a bunch of stuff. And Robyn goes, so what are you doing in May? I'm like, oh, nothing. So we went and played the Troubadour, and we played the Fillmore, and we did a whole bunch of really amazing stuff. And we recorded live stuff. We went and did WXPN. If you go onto World Cafe, you look up Robyn's stuff, you'll actually hear us playing, the new band playing. And he does a lot of solo shows because that's his idea of fun. He's got 40 years of material. So, but when he does band shows, it tends to be Luther Russell, Tony Buchan, and myself. And we're off to Europe. We've got 2 gigs in Minneapolis coming up, and then Philly and DC, and then we're off to England. I'm playing the Academy in Manchester and Ulu in London, which is a great place to play. So like I'm basically going back to being 17 again. It's cool.
That is amazing. I love that.
It's kind of fun.
Hi.
Oh.
Hi, my name's Heather. I'm from Lake Stevens, Washington. And my friend and I actually saw you in our hotel this morning on your way to get coffee. And it made me wonder, what kind of coffee do you drink?
This is a really hard-hitting question. I don't know if you're going to be comfortable answering this, Mark.
You answer that crap?
Coffee light, I'm guessing.
Oh, Seattle, I forgot, isn't it? Yeah. Ew, well, the coffee I drink. Whatever the hell was wet in a cup? What was it? It was a double shot, non-fat cappuccino with very, very, very light foam, very dry. And
Do
a
you
chocolate
approve?
croissant. Why?
I approve of all
Why do
coffee.
you torment me?
Because I'm a coffee
You could have
fiend.
asked me about world peace, hunger, anything. Coffee?
Coffee.
See, listen, you guys are responsible for Starbucks. Shut up.
I don't like Starbucks.
Obviously, but you're responsible for it. How would you like your coffee? Wet and cold, like Seattle.
Yes, that's the best.
Well, thank
Cold
you.
coffee is the best.
Thank you so much.
Hold on, where the hell do you come from? Lake, what's it?
Lake Stevens?
Oh, they're all lakes here, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
My bikes, my motorcycles are in Lake Bay. Do you know where that is?
Nope.
Anybody know where Lake Bay is? Here you go.
That section over there. Well, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
I hope you're satisfied
hold on.
with your answer.
What kind of coffee do they have in Lake Stevens?
Too much. There's too many different
You really
espresso
didn't think this
stands or
through,
anything.
did you? You didn't think this through. You just
I
got
always
clever,
do.
took your shot, and that's it. You're gone. Thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I'll remember you forever.
Okay.
Hi.
Hello. Oh, wow, that's loud. My name is Alana Grenier from Cedar Woolley, and wow, there are
That's
more.
a hell of a sentence.
You are the king of being in everything. So
That's what you say to small boys when they're naughty.
I was wondering, what franchise, what story, what plot are you the most proud of being in? Not your favorite character, but the story you're most proud of.
That's an interesting question.
That is a good question.
Five
Better than a
o'clock.
bloody coffee question. What kind of coffee did you drink? And what kind of coffee did my character like?
Yeah.
Because we're in Seattle. What was my favorite
Well, I mean, you could go Battlestar.
You know, when I started on shows, they
Firefly.
weren't franchises.
Yeah, you
I might be the
started-
reason they became franchises.
Yes.
This is true.
You started in X-Files when I was 3, so.
I was 29. 1993.
Mm-hmm.
You were born in a different century.
I was.
Well done. No.
Thank you.
Look, only one of them has a beginning, middle, and an end. Right? So far. So only one of them has a beginning, middle, and end. That's Battlestar.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an untouchable piece of sci-fi.
Mm-hmm.
It is a beginning, a middle, and end, a meaning. It is what it is. It'll have its meaning for the next 200 years. It'll be very poignant in many times over in history, what it actually is about and what it means. I said, Ron Moore said to me once, he goes, 2 types of people in the world, those that believe ancient Rome had a purpose and those that don't. I'm like, there you go. Look, I've been lucky enough to have writers write for me and found characters that I really enjoyed. And the stuff that seems to resonate with the fans the most seems to be the stuff that I've enjoyed the most. So there's a correlation there. I think there's the amount of passion one puts into something is culpable. I hate telling you this, but generally the genre audience is intelligent, generally. And that's the problem. And they've not been able to shove shows up our noses for the last 10, 15 years. It's not been possible to do. So, Firefly is at the wrong time. It's at a time when if you didn't have 11 or 12 million viewers, I mean, that was low end. 12 million viewers was like, you're dying. You know, now they kill for 12 million viewers. So while television is changing, people like Joss were always ahead of the curve, and people like Ron were always ahead of the curve. So SYFY had Battlestar and didn't know what the hell it was, the most serialized show they ever had. It's impossible to watch. You can't start in the middle. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's fun to watch, but you'd be like, I don't get this.
And Battlestar was written all seasons at once and then planned that way, correct?
Not really.
Not really?
No. It wasn't. But it has a structure that is known. And they steered this giant cruise ship of brilliance into its final, harbor, which is back to the beginning again, which is the genius of it. And you go like, look, so you got a smart audience, and the smart audience knows we can smell when something is fake. So the original Battlestar, while the idea is fantastic, it's the same basic idea of what was going on, is executed so poorly because they're trying to rip off Star Wars fans. That was the point. And now we've got to a point where we vote with our butts or our wallets as to what we want to watch. And we don't watch crap anymore. We don't want to, unless it's fun crap. But we don't want to watch crap. You know, it has to have some sort of heart to it and some sort of passion to it. And any of the projects that I've really enjoyed, I've been in Firefly, I've been in Battlestar, I've been in Supernatural, I've been in Doctor Who, I've been in all these things that were huge passion plays for the creators and the actors. When they started X-Files first season, they had no idea they were getting picked up. I think they got picked up while I was doing my episode.
Wow. See, you are a good talisman.
See?
Yep. Have you
The
seen
king.
Have you seen his Doctor Who episode?
I have.
All right.
You were only
Thank you.
3. What were you doing watching that?
My mom.
Funny, when they first ran
Yeah.
Fire, 3 million viewers on Fox. Second run, 6 million viewers on Fox.
Wow.
Third run, I think, was 12 million viewers. It took a while. They didn't run them very quickly, but it was 12 million viewers. By the time they were in season 2, they were up to they doubled their audience twice, which is amazing.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi, my name is Amanda. I'm from Salem, Oregon. I've heard stories of Jensen and Jared and Misha, the pranks that they play on each other. And I would be curious, what is your favorite prank story from being?
My favorite prank story?
Yes.
I'm an adult. They left me alone. I'd sue
You're
them.
also sarcastic, so I'm sure there's got to be one.
No, they wouldn't go near me. They used to pick on Misha all the time because he's such an idiot. And he always takes the bait. He always gets upset. He always got upset. So like kicking him in the nuts. And he's on camera like literally grabbing his genitals and squeezing till he cries. I mean, it's like,
So what's your favorite?
Jared wouldn't do that to me. I'd kill him.
No.
I'd shoot him. I'd shoot him in the head.
So maybe not they didn't prank you. What's your favorite prank that they played on someone else?
Oh, they were so evil to him when he directed. When Misha directed, they were so evil to him. They shredded his script. With all his notes, like shredded it and then put it back in a bag and gave it to him. Like he had to hide the keys to his car because they knew they were just going to do him in. And then they decided to pie him. And Jensen pied him beautifully. There's a great video of like walking up to him underneath from behind and bam, straight in the face with a pie. Jared hit him so hard with a pie, it took 45 minutes to clean the set.
Oh my gosh.
You know why we call him Moose, right? Well, when I started, it was like they had all these stupid names for him. And it was like Gigantor and Mop-Headed Lumberjack and all that sort of crap. And you go, he's a moose. He's a moose. He's got these skinny little legs and this big body. His massive upper body strength. He can flip like 400-pound tractor tires. But he's got legs like a chicken.
Right.
And that's what a moose looks like. It's basically, a barrel on stilts. And so it was written into the script. It's my favorite line in the whole show. It's like I walk in and Jensen's sitting in my burned out place and I go, where's your moose? And he goes, oh yeah, he's in blah, 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 blah. It's like normal conversation. And it's stuck. I love that.
That's awesome.
That's the moose. Moose. So yeah, he's an idiot. Which basically comes down to Misha's an idiot, so you're fine.
Yeah.
Thank
you. Hi.
Hi, my name is Sonia. I'm from Indiana, Pennsylvania, and
What?
I know.
You confused?
No. But I'm a Hollywood patron, and I was wondering the girls are going to do a Supernatural parody too, if maybe you'd be involved in it.
Which, the Hollywood thing? No.
Oh, okay.
Love them dearly. They're lovely girls. It's fun. I'm very proud of the time that I spent doing Supernatural. I'm proud of what I tried to achieve and what I tried to hold on to. It would have been so much fun if I was God. Would have made more sense. Oh, Crowley's God. Okay, now the whole series makes sense. It's just, there comes a point when you have to leave it as what it was. You know, eating peanuts at the end of season 11 is like, I'm going, what am I doing? And then 12 was just playing the same scene over and over again, poking the bear. Because suddenly I'm stupid and I don't know the bear's going to bite me. And it's like, oh, I have you under my spell. Nothing bad is going to happen to me if I keep doing this. I was like, you know what? I'd rather remember the end of season 8, the end of season 9, you know, even the end of season 7. They used to give me these gems to play with, this stuff that was just fabulous. And it's, I wasn't in the 200th, I wasn't in French Mistake, I wasn't in the 150th. There's a lot of stuff they left out. And I fought for my space, and I got my space, and I'm proud of what I did. So it's time to put a button on it and enjoy it for what it was.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, you're a serious actor, and you put your heart into that character.
I was a serious actor, but they actually hired me as an actor.
You still are. I mean, you're an amazing actor.
Do you know how respectful they were for me in my first episode? It was the coolest thing you've ever seen. If you ever wonder why you should love Jensen and Jared, they're the coolest guys. They are genuinely gentlemen. And Misha builds hospitals and schools and all that crap. Saves people's lives. Idiot. But these two boys are just like, when somebody comes to play with them, they are so happy that you've come there to come and enjoy their show and meet their friends and play with their crew. And if you're there to have fun and work hard, they treat you like a king. They'll give you everything they have. If you screw with them, they'll get a little quiet. They'll still give you everything they got, but you ain't coming back.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, and I've seen a lot of people come into that, and just that extra embrace that you get, that they got, Nathan was the same on Firefly. He was like,
Oh, yeah.
He made me a freaking sandwich on the first day.
He's amazing.
He's weird.
Yeah. He's a good captain.
He's Canadian.
He is Canadian.
Doesn't make any sense at all.
I know.
Say, hey, you need a sandwich? I'm like, no, but okay.
You're like, I'll take a grilled cheese. Sure.
And then we just ran lines for 16 and a half hours. It was fun.
Yeah,
But-
he's great. Hi.
Hi, Mark. My name's James. I'm from Eugene, Oregon.
Been there.
Yeah.
It was
that's
closed.
good. I've been there a couple of Sorry about that. Hey, I'm a big fan of your work on Supernatural and Battlestar Galactica, arguably more important.
You don't like the other stuff?
Oh, I like it all. I'm just saying, those two specifically, they stick with me. My friend Joe, childhood friend, he's very stubborn and refuses to watch Battlestar Galactica no matter how many times
He's
people
an
tell
idiot.
him to watch it. Okay, you said it. A couple years ago at a Comic-Con in Portland, I got Katee Sackhoff at a panel.
That would be a reason to
say-
watch Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
The women in that show are the reason to watch Battlestar
Katee
Galactica.
is amazing in that show.
Katie's amazing in that show.
Yeah.
Everybody's amazing. That Grace.
She got herself
Mary.
ripped up and
They're all like that.
yeah.
They're all
Are
so
you going to
beautiful.
ask him to do a video message to your friend?
No.
Well, so I asked Katee
No.
to do it, and she did it.
So?
But I wanted you to see
You're not the boss of
to
me.
him, please.
No.
Oh.
Do you have a question, though?
That was my question, is if he could tell Joe to watch Battlestar Galactica.
No.
Oh. Okay. You've disappointed me, but that's okay.
You know what maturity is? It's called living with unresolved issues.
Well, this is probably a better video for Joe anyway.
Do you have children?
Point and laugh at me instead.
Do you have children?
Not yet.
Yeah. I do. So do you.
Yes, I do. A lot of them.
Go sit down. Thank
It's
you.
okay. I appreciate
Thank
it anyway.
you.
Thank you, sir.
Hi.
That's literally the same as my kids going like, can I have $20?
Oh, yeah.
It's the same thing to me.
Yeah, exactly. And we
No.
we got to pay out a lot.
Yeah, it's true.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Maggie. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. If you
Where?
Jacksonville,
Oh
Florida.
my God, I've been there so many times. I have. I don't usually admit to that. I like Amelia Island.
It's
very
nice.
nice. It's nice. That's where I'd stay if I go there.
But I'm leaving soon, so.
You are?
Yeah.
Well, you're here right now, so you left a little while ago.
Well, yes, but I'm moving here in June.
You're not sure? Are you moving here?
Yes.
That's suicidal. You're going from heat. It's a freezing cold rain.
Good luck with
Where
that.
are you moving to?
4 blocks away from here.
Starbucks?
Do you have a question?
Not anymore.
And not what coffee he drinks.
No. If you're given the opportunity to revisit any role that you've done before, would you, and what role would it be?
I wouldn't.
He's satisfied. Thank you.
I'm quite a lot, so there's a lot. When you have me, you have a lot. So I'm sure there's a lot of people very happy I've stopped doing the things that I'm doing. But yeah, I'm an adult portion, as they say.
Thank you.
Thank you,
so
though.
much.
You've played.
Good luck with your move.
Yeah, good luck. You've played the same character as your father 3 times, I think, in different
think so, yes.
productions. Have you ever wanted?
I thought you were going to say, you've played the same character over and over and over again. When are you going to do something different?
Yeah, again, come on. No, but would you ever want to portray the actual father-son relationship on screen with your dad?
God, no, I hate the guy. No. It's odd. No, we just never got to do it. We never really got to do it. My dad's 85 and he's still working. If you don't know who he is, go look him up. You've seen him in everything he's ever been in over the last
Another great actor.
60 years. He's been in more genre shows than I have. He goes to, Babylon 5, 4 casts of Star Trek. He's in JJ's Star Trek. He's in Star Trek 6 as a Klingon. He's a Vulcan, a Klingon. He's Data's grandfather, technically. Sung's creator. Next Generation. I mean, there's tons of stuff. He's Captain Witwicky in Transformers.
I would like to see you guys actually play father-son.
It's just about a lot of people talking very darkly like this. There's lots of overacting. It would be fun. That could be really interesting today. I don't know if he could be bothered, though.
I think, under the right circumstances. Hi.
Hi, I'm Barbara from Auburn. I love you and everything you do, but my favorite was by far Doctor Who. So I'm wondering what your favorite part about playing Canton Everett Delaware III was.
It was an extraordinary circumstance. I was doing Supernatural, and I got a phone call saying, do you want to go do Doctor Who? I'm like, well, what the hell do you think?
Yeah.
So basically, do you want to go play James Bond on Doctor Who was actually the question. I'm like, yeah. And it took a lot of hassle to get it right. And at some point, it was impossible to do. There was a timing issue with Supernatural. And then BBC flipped it on their head. So they actually got me. I was able to do it by a complete fluke. And I was flying backwards and forwards between Cardiff and Vancouver, and like getting off a plane and working, getting off a plane and working, getting off a plane and working. And it was the most wonderful experience to do. I like the fact that Moffat said that he'd written a lot of gay characters, and none of them reflected anybody that he knew that was gay, which I thought was fascinating. And he said it was a bit embarrassing that he was writing stereotypes in this day and age. There's no disrespect to Barrowman, who's the most flamboyant stereotype in the history of anything. I've done an entire interview while sitting on his lap once.
Oh.
I love him. He's amazing. He's funny as hell, too. Very talented man. But it's like, yeah, you got Captain Jack, and it's a great character, etc. But everything's so bloody stereotyped. Sexuality and gender identity is like so obvious. And Moffat was kind of like, if you're a gay man in 1969 in Nixon's White House, or the FBI, you're going to have a shitload of problems. But you're in a gay interracial relationship. It's going to get very interesting. But like, it's the thrust of who he is. I mean, of course, it shapes who he is, but it's not the entire point of the show, which I think is fantastic. And I don't think you can redress inequality, lack of sensitivity, lack of taste, by writing a whole bunch of stuff that is the antithesis of what we have that is bad. Does that make sense? I think you just have to do it by showing the world really as it is. It makes more sense that way. I don't want to see... I want to see the best. I don't want to see something because it's a woman or because it's a man or because it's straight or because it's gay. I don't want that game to be played. I just want the best of whatever we can do. And I think we're changing slowly in that way. You know, it's fandom itself is a fascinating thing to me. I hate the word fan. You know, I hate the word fan. Fanatic is a terrible word. It implies that we're all weird and stupid and live in our parents' basements. Shh. They don't know that. They were bluffing. The truth is, though, it's like, isn't it all a bit sad? Isn't it all a bit sad? It's the thing that has been said to me for 20 years or so of doing conventions. Isn't it all a bit sad? I'm like, it's the exact opposite of sad. It's to wear your love on your sleeve is a badge of courage. It takes huge courage to dress up and cosplay and play as your heroes and announce what you feel and what you are and what you want and what should be. And wouldn't it have been interesting if this character had actually been like this? You know, this is when you start going, okay, that kind of makes sense to me. That's really cool. And this has become a safe place to do that. The most amazing honor I think I've ever had. I've got to have met at least 4 people who have gone through gender reassignment surgery. I'm sorry if that's not the correct term. It's the only term that comes to my mind. But I'm saying, as I said, but yeah, I'm not always great on terminology. But 4 people who had gone through gender reassignment surgery before, during, and after, dressed as me. It's the most amazing thing in the world. It is the most beautiful. I mean, maybe it occurred to me, it's like, isn't it amazing that somebody who isn't always comfortable necessarily in their skin can be comfortable in my skin? It's the most wonderful thing to be part of that. And it's such an honor. You know, I've seen people with a painted beard end up with a real beard. And you go like, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. It's like, and be so happy at that and be comfortable as a Crowley, or, you know, you can never be comfortable as a Castiel, because there's some gender issues there that will just never be sorted out. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's the most magical thing. And we used to be a joke, and now we're the most powerful union there is. We've got the money, we've got the power, and we've got the stuff, and we need to use it to make sure that we're supporting talent, and we're supporting writers, and we're supporting the shows that we really want to have happen, and the graphic novels that we really want to have happen, and the web stuff. Like the Hillywood thing is just fabulous. I just think it's 2 girls going, yeah, basically very loudly and with a lot of talent. I think that stuff is wonderful. I think we've changed so much in that way, and I think the powers that be, the content delivery systems, you know, have changed so much that they're afraid of not knowing what we actually want to have happen. And so they're actually paying attention. So we should be vigilant, and we should be honest, and we should keep driving this to get the content that we want and get rid of the garbage that would create, you know, 80s Battlestar from something that was such a brilliant story. And that they had to fight to try to have some meaning. I remember talking to Richard about it for years, and he was going, we tried to do the same thing, it's just you couldn't do it. Right. And then, you know, you get Ron and you get everyone else, and literally SYFY probably not knowing what they had. And it just becomes this thing. And these are the cornerstones, and Joss's World and all these amazing things that get done. And now you've got, you know, James Gunn doing the same thing in major motion pictures that you know, Joss was doing on TV, and it's brilliant. It's fantastic to me.
And the term geek has now, like you said, it
a
means
badge of honor.
being passionate about something and not being afraid to show who you truly are. You know?
It's revolting, the idea that there's something wrong with us because we care about something. I don't trust people who don't have heroes. I don't trust people who don't believe in something or aren't fans of something. There's something cynical about I don't care about that and I don't care about that, you know. But the fan, to actually be what they call a fan, a lover, an amateur, a true, you know, carer of this stuff is wonderful. And I love the costumes. You guys are insane. It's brilliant.
It is true. Thank you so much. And that was beautifully said, Mark. Thank you. Hi.
Hi, I'm Kai Talent from Everett, Washington. And
Been there. It's on the 5.
I
passed through that on my way to my house.
I was wondering, out of the many seasons of Supernatural you've been in, which was your favorite to be a part of?
End of season 8.
Thank you.
Which we shot in sequence.
Oh,
I
you
told
did?
you that.
Yeah,
Did I tell you that?
that's so unusual too.
Yeah, we shot the whole of the end of season 8 in sequence. It was like they shot the exteriors and then we built the interior on set and they just shot the whole thing in order. It was a magical thing to do. It's really cool. What?
You ready?
Hey, I'm Wendy. I'm from Washington, and I went to SYFY last year, and both you and Richard Speight Jr. stole my pinwheel, so not sure that makes it blessed or cursed.
Uh-oh.
How you doing?
Hey. Bye.
You should have learned your lesson last year. It's a beautiful pinwheel.
Yeah, whatever.
The one you use on the show is green, but I got that before I watched the show, so it's purple. And I like purple.
You still here?
Yup. So my
This takes me back to that scene with Kevin. That was my favorite thing. Robyn, the props girl, it was one of my favorite people on the planet, goes, what do you want? I said, can you get me a pinwheel?
Yes.
I torture my enemies. That's how I show love.
Did you have a question?
Yes, actually.
Really? This isn't enough for you?
I kind of too. First, I heard a rumor that you're not going to SYFY anymore. Is that true?
To what?
SYFY, Seattle Supernatural Convention.
It's not a rumor. I'm not doing creation conventions. If I was doing creation conventions, I wouldn't be able to be here because it was an exclusive thing. So I'm no longer doing creation conventions. That's correct.
Okay. Well,
personally, I like the fact that a lot
love.
more people. I get to see a lot more people here, and I've been off the Comic-Con circuit and seeing you guys for 3 or 4 years now. So it's just wonderful to be able to see people that don't have to spend $5,000 to come say hello to me.
yeah, and also in line, I also thought of something else. Are there any lines in Supernatural that you just kind of made up on the spot?
Yes.
And what made you
The
think
moose
of them?
line, right?
No, the moose was there, but it was like it was a joke because we were talking about he looked like a moose. You're good, but I'm Crowley. That's mine. So I had to get up. My problem was I got hit, so I have to get up. So I was like, John Badham was like, well, how'd you get up? I said, it's easy. I'm like, oh, you're good, man. You're good. Put my hand up. And kill him. I was like, but I'm Crowley. A lot of that stuff is really well written and it was fun, but it takes me a little while to find it, you know? No one in the history of torture has been tortured with torture like the torture you'll be tortured with is difficult to forget, apparently. But yeah, some of it's mine, but not all of it. I'd call up and ask. Most of it's written. It's fabulous. They used to get the giggles writing me stuff. They're like, oh, this would be really cool for Mark. And you're like, oh, God. How do you say this?
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
And thanks for the pinwheel. Hi.
That's my pinwheel. Hey, my name's Megan Giesbrecht. I'm from...
It's not coming back.
I'm from Salem, Oregon.
Where's that?
It's a ways down in Oregon. It's the capital. I mean, you should come see it.
No.
It's nice. We got
I've
some
been
cool
to Oregon.
bars
I did
downtown.
5 years of leverage in Portland.
Salem's a lot better than Portland is.
Do you have witches there, like the other Salem?
Let's not talk about it.
Okay.
So, being a fangirl of Supernatural, most people ask if I'm a Dean fan or if I'm a Sam fan. And I'm
Who
like,
cares?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I'm a Crowley girl. So
There you go.
I gotta ask, do you think that the 3 extra inches was worth it?
See, this is the problem that you have. I'm going to explain this to you for one final time because I'm sick to death of hearing this. Crowley is not Fergus MacLeod. Crowley looks like Mark Sheppard. Fergus MacLeod is a 4'6" tall,
Okay, I get that.
ginger-haired Scottish crofter who sold his soul for 3 extra inches. Crowley is a demonized version of that soul in the body of an English New York inhabiting publisher.
Oh, so you didn't
So
even get the
3
benefit
extra
of it.
inches I could lend him. But Crowley didn't sell his soul for anything because Crowley doesn't have a soul.
Well put. Okay, I'll take it. And by the way, my hands aren't sweaty anymore, so we're good.
Cool.
Thank you.
Helps if you watch the show.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Emily. I'm from Olympia, Washington, and meeting you yesterday was
Vancouver, Washington.
Olympia.
Oh, Olympia, Washington.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's got like a mountain and shit, doesn't it?
Yeah. I was just wondering what your dream role would be.
Ooh.
Dream role.
Bacon. Brown sauce. Next.
Hi.
I'm Miles from Selah, Washington, and I was wondering, what's your favorite episode of Supernatural in general?
In general?
Well, he kind of said his favorite one that he was into season 8, right?
Yeah, but French Mistake is probably my favorite episode. Because it's insane. Baby's pretty good, actually. That's a great episode. I'm not in that either.
Thank you.
Thanks for reminding me.
Hi.
Hi, my name's Audrey. I'm from Seattle, and
Oh, well, you didn't come far then.
I know a couple blocks. All good. Well, for instance,
Starbucks?
close, really close. Totally, it works. But a fan of yours in a ton of shows. Huge fan of Leverage, and I was wondering, do you tend to prefer playing heroes, villains, ambiguous
How
villains?
dare you?
I know.
I was actually having dinner last night, and John Rogers was sitting at the other table, who was the showrunner for Leverage, who I love very dearly. And Will Wheaton and myself have decided we should do a show together.
Oh, I love
Wouldn't
that
that be great?
idea.
I'm like, Will, you and I should be in a show. I'm not sure what it is yet, but we should be in a show, and John Rogers should write it. I think it would be absolutely brilliant.
That has to happen.
Can you imagine the speed of that show? It would be rather extraordinary. I love him. I think he's wonderful. But as John Rogers would say to you, if you really think about it, I'm the hero and they are the villains.
Oh, certainly. That's why I was saying, hey,
Yes.
hero, villain,
My
ambiguous
favorite thing
villain,
about Leverage is that they wrote Sterling as Sterling Never Loses. And they wrote Elliot, which is Christian Kane's part, as Elliot Never Loses a Fight. So my then sort of 10-year-old turned around and went to Amy Berg and said, hey, what would happen if Sterling and Elliot had a fight? I'm like, and they're like, oh, that's so cool. And I'm like, oh, God. So that was the famous one-shot fight that we had. It's amazing. They digited one of my teeth in, flying out. If you look really closely, it's digitized into the shot. Christian's hair moving. It's always about his hair. God, him and Jared are the same as well.
Oh, yeah, the hair.
So, but yeah, we had fun stuff. Oh, we did that in one take, and he accidentally put me through the table.
Oh.
Which was really cool. We wanted to keep going, but they're like, are you okay? Are you dead? But like, no, we did really well. It's fun to do. It was a lot of fun to do.
Thank you.
Interesting
Thank you
conundrum.
so much.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you. Hi.
What's this? This looks
Hi. Hi, I'm Chelsea, and I'm from Casper, Wyoming.
cool. Oh, no, you're not.
Yes, I am.
I've been to Wyoming.
Did you like it, or did you?
I don't know.
It's kind of
I
like
passed-
nothing there.
I passed some ranch for about 68 miles.
That's not
Something
a surprise.
X ranch that's on the road. I was going from Sturgis. I was coming back from Sturgis. I was like, it's the same gate. Every 20 miles is the same gate.
They have one town that the whole town consists of a post office.
And a cow.
Probably.
Always
and
a cow.
tumbleweeds. Always.
Oh, cool. You got a question?
Yeah. I was wondering, what's your favorite one-liner from Supernatural?
One-liner.
Other than Moose.
Balls. No. It's pretty good. There's a lot of great one-liners. Oh, I know. There's 68 takes of I'd rather be slapped during sex by a girl in a Zorro mask. Which Jensen could not get out of his face. And Jared was in a hunting mood and wouldn't let go.
Oh.
Really? Is that what you're going to say? Is that what you're going to say? Say it again. Do it again. Just like, hey, I'd rather be slapped in the face, but I'd rather be slapped by a girl, with a girl in the face and a Zorro. I'd rather be... Hey, I'd rather be... 68 takes, I think it is. It is... Just, some of it is on the gag reel. We had a private gag reel that year. I think they used that every 5 minutes just to remind you that we could never get it done. I'd rather be slapped in the face with a girl.
Wait, what?
Really? You'd like to be slapped in the face with? It's just a great line. Slapped in the
Thank you
face
for
by
bringing
a
that
girl
up.
in a Zorro mask during sex.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Belle from Marysville, and I was wondering,
Don't wonder, because that's not a place you'll be able to find again afterwards.
what would Crowley's favorite pickup line be?
You tell me.
Yeah, what do you think?
Oh.
That's pretty good. Oh,
Probably just
I think it's-
I'm Crowley?
I'm Crowley is usually the best way to pick anybody up.
Yeah.
It's an awfully
effective.
powerful statement.
Yeah.
But you have to have the voice. No, you have to have the voice to do that.
Oh, yeah.
You say, hello, boys. See, it works.
Yeah. Thank you. Hi.
Hi, I'm Michelle from Puyallup, Washington. First, I want to say a happy birthday to your little one that had birthday a few days ago.
Thank you. Isabella Rose is 2.
And then my question was, I was wondering, how hard was it to get down the torture sentence that you just had?
Wasn't hard at all.
When Abaddon came in the room and you...
I remember it.
Yeah.
I was there. Do you know she nearly killed me with that gun by accident?
Oh, yeah?
She picked up the gun, it went off. It's pretty annoying. Elena's in for I hate it. There's a great shot in the gag reel where it goes off and I'm like literally looking in the camera and going.
Uh-huh.
No one in the history of torture has been tortured with torture like the torture you'll be tortured with. What's the problem with that sentence?
It's a tongue twister.
It ends in a preposition. So it annoys the hell out of me. So when you're saying it, if you're me, and you go, no one in the history of torture has been tortured with torture like the torture you'll be tortured with. Torture?
Yeah.
With torture? Tortured?
Yeah, with torture.
With torture. With tortured. With torture.
Now.
So it never ends. So there's a moment at the end of that line where I'm like, have I finished? Which is actually the echo of one of the first scenes I'm ever in Supernatural, which is why Jensen is so, he's a mime. I hate to tell him that, but it's true. He's a brilliant, he's a master of non-verbal communication on camera. He's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. There's a moment where I go, how about you don't miss morons, right? To which he goes, you're the morons. Scene's going on. He's like, what? Is it zzz, or is it moron? You're the moron. It's like, typical. So, yeah, so there's a lot of that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi.
All right. I'm Cody from Bremerton, Washington. And I was wondering, in all of your seasons of Supernatural, what was your favorite scene in particular?
End of season 8. Next question.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Allie from Washington.
That's a hell of a long walk and a wait just to get the same answer. Those are the breaks.
I'm Allie from Marysville, Washington, and my question was, do you have like a favorite moment with your boys? Because obviously you've spent, okay, not your boys, the boys. Sorry, that's what my family calls them.
Is this a euphemism for something?
I don't know. I give up. My question is, do you have a favorite moment with Jensen and Jared throughout the 8 years that you spent with them?
Favorite moment with those idiots?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I have many favorite moments. We have hugs and cuddles that occasionally would happen. I don't know, stuff's just funny. I mean, it was always on a gag reel, stuff that was, it was genuine. It was really funny. Because it's high speed and hard work and whatever, and then something falls over or you forget something and it's just stupid. And there's a lot of love, so it's a lot of fun to do that. It's some wonderful moments. I watched them have children and be married and do amazing things in their lives. They were children.
Yeah.
Well, Jared was a child when I first met him. Now he's just a bigger child with more hair. You know, it's weird. It's like my daughter is born on Jensen's birthday, as is Jeffrey Dean's and daughter's born the same day. It's really weird. Jensen's daughter is born on my birthday.
Ah.
And Jared has a child called Shep.
That is...
Obviously hate each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird thing. It's like, you know, it's I was having some sort of argument with Jared at one point. He goes, dude, we've known each other nearly a decade. It's crazy. It's a long time. Long time to be on a show.
Thank you. All right, we have a couple minutes left. Let's do this, because you guys have been waiting in line. Raise your hand if you're the last person in line. Raise your hand, raise your hand. No,
Raise your hand if you're sure.
Okay, nobody else get in the lines.
Okay, let's go.
We're going to do rapid fire, so yes, no questions, and then we'll be able to get through everyone in 3 minutes. What do you think? Yes?
2
yes,
minutes, 53,
yes?
52.
Okay, yes or no question, go.
Okay, hi, my name is Alexis Rasmussen.
No, you can't say that.
Oh,
Just
okay.
say your question.
Yes or no, was Battlestar Galactica your favorite thing that you played in?
Yes or no?
Yes.
Did you enjoy playing Sterling in Leverage?
Yes.
Okay, this is good.
After playing the same character for so long, do you ever find yourself becoming him as you act?
Yes, I kill billions of people.
Yes.
Did you like using an American accent when you were playing the character in Doctor Who?
Did I like?
Yeah.
That's the silliest question I've ever heard in my life.
It
Go
was
sit
not
down.
going to be a yes or no.
Would you like to cosplay anytime?
No. It's what I do for a living.
Are you actually attracted to smug, smarmy bastard roles?
No. Idiot.
Yes.
Hi. Did Matt Smith try to hug you while you were working on Doctor Who?
Yeah, and he sang to me as well.
Would you have wanted to develop Crowley's character any more than it already was?
What do you mean?
Like his personality or anything that you wanted more into the character?
I guess so. I got to speak and do. Changed it a bit. I used to write with what I did and the results of what I did, so yes.
Do you think that Jared...
No. Sorry, what?
Do you think that Jared...
No! What?
Do you think Jared...
No!
Do you think Jared's assassin?
No! Go on.
Do you think Jared...
No!
Do you...
No.
think that
No.
Jared...
No!
is a Sasquatch?
Yes.
Will we be seeing you on the silver screen anytime soon?
How old are you?
I am
When was the last time you saw a silver screen? They went out in the 1930s.
Okay, the big screen.
Mind your own business. You'll find out when I want you to know.
Last but not least.
Are you going to be in any new sci-fi shows soon?
I'm not going to tell you. Be spoiling the fun.
Okay.
You'll find out.
Mark, thank you so much for spending this time with us. One more big round of applause for Mark Sheppard.
She's a boss, unapologetically.
This is Krypton, and this is the story of the House of L.
My name is Adam Strange. Someone from the future is coming to destroy Krypton.
Because your grandson becomes the greatest hero in the universe.
Superman.
I've been having this vision.
We are not alone in the universe.
It's known as the Collector of Worlds, but its true name is Brainiac.
Son of Krypton, your world is at an end.
Help me find a way to stop him.
You have to find the fortress.
It's time you learned the truth.
Brainiac is going to rip Kandor from the ground and enslave all of us.
You are a Zod. Fight with honor and fight without mercy.
Once this cape is gone, our time's up. Superman will have been wiped from existence.
Light 'em up, light 'em up. Light 'em up, light 'em up, light 'em up.
As of today, our rebel forces have taken control of 1/3 of the former Golra Empire.
Everyone, get to your lions. We're going in. Hold on.
The tide is changing, but we still have a long way to go before the entire universe is free.
All forces, prepare for enemy assault.
Stay in formation and don't touch the sides.
Honk!
Think I may have nicked the side a little bit.
Maybe time to consider taking the next step. Our forces combined. You provide the greatest threat Zarkon has ever faced.
Every word is a lie!
This whole thing is like making a deal with the devil. It's the Golra.
They're making a one-time offer.
Don't play into Zarkon's hands!
Behold the dawn of a new age of warfare.
3, 2, 1!
My
My name is Arielle Johnson, and I am the owner and operator of Amalgam Comics and Coffee House located in Philadelphia. The thing that really got me into comics was Storm of the X-Men. I just fell in love with her character. She was the first Black woman superhero that I'd ever seen, the first character that looked like me. I wanted to be like her. She was my hero. One of my favorite pastimes after being introduced to Storm through the show was to go outside on a windy day and pretend that I was the one making the wind blow. So I would like look at the trees and try to like estimate when the wind was going to start, and then put my hand up, and then the trees would blow, and I would like feel like I did it. Previously, in things that I've seen, if there were any Black or brown characters, they were sidekicks. But when I met Storm, I felt like I could be a part of the adventure. As a woman in these nerd geek spaces, you can feel like you are always being scrutinized. Your nerd cred is always being challenged. I wanted to create a space that is for everyone, so everyone can come in and feel welcome. So if you're a woman, if you're Black, if you're gay, if you're trans, it's like we are a space for you. I know, I'll be, a 70-year-old woman still geeking about, what happened last week, and did you read the book or whatever. So that will always be me now, and I know that I have now built a career for myself, based on these things that I love. So I get to, geek professionally.
He was a king to me. Dead on a path for war. Brothers in arms they fight for. We are the royal throne. Castles we build in black stone, till the walls came crumbling down. Yeah, we had it all. Live forever, king and queen. Live forever, king and queen. And you were everything to me. Yeah, we had it all.
Hey, don't touch that dial. Just kidding, TVs don't have dials anymore. Here at Sci-Fi Wire, we bring you The Geek, covering everything in science fiction, fantasy, and horror. From movies, TV, and comics to fans and conventions. We've got interviews, comic previews, and podcasts. We've even got a weird video where I talk about how Harley Quinn wouldn't exist without daytime soaps.
Here!
We're 24/7, 365 at syfy.com, so come visit us.
The story of my family isn't about how we died. It's about how we lived.
Hi, I'm Abby, and today I'm going to be knitting a Krogi sweater for my puppy Logan. Winter is no joke, so I'm going to start by casting on 40 stitches, and then I'm going to rib knit 10 rows. At this point, I'll start widening the sweater. Now, I want to create some space for Logan's legs. All right, it's time to take the black. We're going to do some color work now. I'm going to knit 1 row of dark gray, 3 rows of black, and then another row of dark gray, and then it's time to move on to the decreases. As I get closer to the hem, I'm going to start decreasing the stitches. Lastly, I'm going to rib knit 5 rows. Remember, that's knit 1, purl 1 for the entire row. And when those 5 rows are done, I'm going to cast off, and this part of the sweater is done. You can't forget the cape. I made this one by casting on 45 stitches and then knitting 90 rows of stockinette. That's knit 1 row, purl 1 row. Next, I'll create some tassels to look like the pelt, and then I'm going to comb out the yarn to look like fur. Finally, I'm going to sew the buttons onto my sweater, and then you can finish everything off by attaching the cape. And now, Logan's watch has started. And that is how you make a corgi into a Krogi.
Brings us together.
It reminds us
that we all have superpowers. And that we scream in the same language.
So what if you lose yourself in Reddit threads or rabbit holes?
It doesn't matter if you're into wizards, dragon queens, space outlaws, or survivors of the zombie apocalypse.
Who cares what you look like, talk like, think like?
All that matters
is that you love it.
Passion, sure ticket in.
We watch, rewatch, dissect, and freeze frame.
We find meaning where others see make-believe.
We jump into the wormhole and explore the other side.
And while the stories may take place in far-off galaxies, they all have one thing in common.
Us.
Us.
Us. Us.
Because no matter how different
we all are,
this is the place we call home.
All right, we have an almost full room out there, so we need to practice being loud. I'm going to bring them all out, and you're going to be loud each time, all right? Is that a promise? All right, we're going to do the count of 3 like we always do, and you're going to make the walls shake so everyone outside will be pissed they're missing something cool, all right? 1, 2, 3. All right, now we're ready to start. All right. The only rules you need to know, the questions are coming from you guys. It's a Q&A. They told me there were mics in the aisles. Are there? Are there microphones out there? I hope so. Because the questions are coming from you guys. 1 question per person, so everyone gets a chance. And do not ask the whole panel to answer the question, or we'll only have 1 question for the whole hour. So if you do that, everyone's going to boo. Are you guys on with this? If you ask the whole panel, we're all going to boo. So let's practice 1 boo. Ready? Everybody, boo. Go. And you'll be banished to the back of the line. You will not get to ask your question. Those are the rules. All right, let's bring them up so you can hear everybody. We have, first up, I can see him, Zach Callison here, folks. Next up, David Hayter, folks. I think that's him. Is that Phil Lamar, guys? We have Phil here. Next up, Jeremy Shader. We know where all the girls are sitting. All right, next up, how about Travis Willingham? And what would Travis be without Laura Bailey? We seem to be missing the king, folks. King Ezekiel's here. Kari Payton! All right. You are here for voiceover questions. We have 7 of the world's best voice actors on stage. We're going to start on this side because I could see you kind of right here, sir. You're up first. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm going to direct this at Phil Lamar. Hi. Out of all the numerous characters you did on Futurama, who is your favorite and why?
You got to hold up your phone when you answer.
Thank you for that question. Yes, the internet goes both ways. That's an interesting question. I mean, honestly, from the pragmatic standpoint, my favorite character was the one I got to do the most, Hermes. Hermes Conrad, bureaucrat level grade 34. But actually, I mean, that show was so well written. I have a soft spot for Bubblegum Tate, just because it took me back to my childhood watching all those, Harlem Globetrotters, guesting on cartoons and stuff. But the one I feel maybe the closest ownership of is Preacher Bot, because that's actually a voice that is based on a person I knew. So it was a voice that I used to do in sessions, and then they actually wrote a character to fit the voice. So I feel like closer to that character.
Thank you very much. Next question over here. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Dean. I'm from Northern California. My question is mostly targeted toward Jeremy.
I kind of figured since you're cosplaying as Lance, so...
I mean, it's the best character, no offense. Okay, so... when you started Adventure Time, you were like 12, and so you went through a voice change. I'm currently going through a voice change because of hormones. So I was wondering, do you have any vocal exercises or advice about when your voice is changing?
Well, my voice change happened from puberty, so I had not a lot of control over it. Just kind of happened. When I started Adventure Time, I was like 12, so right at that age. And my voice just cracked all the time when I would scream. And for me, luckily, it kind of worked out from the show. They're like, wow, it sounds so natural. It sounds like a 12-year-old kid. And it was because I was a 12-year-old kid. And then they just kind of went with it. And at first I was like, God, am I going to get like recasted? Like, what's going to happen? But they're like, no, we're going to let the character age throughout the show. So that was kind of awesome for me. For me, I don't think I've ever done like really. I mean, I'll do like vocal warm-ups for singing, because that one you have to be really on pitch. So I'll do vocal warm-ups for singing. But for VO, for like Finn and stuff, I've never really done vocal warm-ups. It's the same as me saying, "Hey, what's going on?" as me, and then be like, "Hey, what's going on, guys?" You can just kind of go right into it. So I've never really had any warm-up. There's no like secret thing that like kind of gets you there and stuff like that. Just kind of turn on the voice, I guess.
I mean,
Thank
do
you.
Do you think that doing the Finn voice helped you keep your upper register without?
Probably,
instead
yeah,
of just
because I had to
it
go up there
dropping
all
down?
the time. Yeah, it was like my natural voice at first, and then once I went through voice change, it is now a character voice for sure, because it does not sound like this.
Wow.
So yeah, it probably
All right.
kept my
So
range high.
Jeremy is no help at all to you. Sure. Thank you very much.
Oh, he's plenty of help.
Thanks a lot. Next one over here. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Krona. I'm from Dust City. Just kidding. Hi, my name is Abby, and I'm from Everett, Washington. Yeah!
Yeah, we don't do that for Everett.
Okay, so I was wondering for Zach and Laura. Zach, is it okay if I sing you the Steven Universe theme song?
Only if we all sing along.
Yeah, can everyone sing? Okay, ready?
You start us off, and if you know it, join in. I'll join
Ready?
in with you.
1, 2, 3. We are the crystal gems. We'll always save the day. And if you think we can't, we'll always find a way. That's why the people of this world believe in garnet, amethyst, and pearl.
And Steven! We got some harmonies going on there.
Thanks.
I approve.
And for Laura Bailey, hi. So, Maka, yay, I'm back. So, Laura, so I know that you are in Glitter Force, and I'm like a Glitter Force fanatic. So if you could be anyone from Glitter Force other than Glitter Lucky, who would it be and why? Because I would be Glitter Peace.
But why can't I be Glitter Lucky?
Well, if you didn't get cast as Glitter Lucky, who would you want to be cast as? Other than Glitter Lucky. Pick one.
But
pick Maka.
Glitter Peace.
Glitter
as
Peace.
well, because she's really cute.
Also, please tell
But
Vic.
Glitter Lucky is my answer. Glitter Lucky.
Also, please tell Vic Mignogna that I'm a big fan of him. So
I
if you see him,
will.
thank you.
I will give him a big hug, and I will tell him that the next time I see him, which I have no idea when that will be.
Okay, because if you
All
do,
right.
thank you.
All right. You got lucky. You snuck one. Next time, audience, we're jumping on that. All right, over here. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Jessie from Long Beach. My question's for Kari.
Yeah, SoCal.
Hey, what up? Woo! So on Thursday on your panel, you were talking about living truthfully with your partner and putting attention on them. And so I was wondering how you do that when you don't have someone to bounce off of in like a booth. How does that work for you?
Well, then, if you're by yourself in the booth and you're not interacting with someone, then you have to be honest and open with the script, because the script is who you're playing off of. And fortunately, you know, in my career, I've had the opportunity to have that kind of dance happen with some really incredible writers. And so so you let the script lead you. And keep your mind open to the endless possibilities that are out there. Because when you're just dealing with your voice, there's so many different ways that you can go. And the animators, the reason that we record first and they animate after is because we're the tool that they need in order to jump off their creative imagination. So it's kind of incumbent on us to always keep our minds open to all the possibilities. You know, but always be led by the script. Unless it's Teen Titans Going, which I don't care what they write, I'm gonna say what's funny.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next up, go ahead.
Hi, my name's Isabel Warren, and I'm from Seattle, Washington. My question is for Jeremy. How does it feel after you've recorded all of your voice, how does it feel to see yourself animated in your show?
I mean, pretty great. I mean, probably for everybody up here, it's always cool once you record something to see the finished product. I mean, I love going back and watching the shows because you never know exactly how it's going to turn out. So it's fun to see everything put together in the form that it's intended for the audience. Because when we're recording, usually we're either going off a script or maybe sometimes like a black and white panel by panel like storyboard. So then when you get to see all the colors all filled in, all the sound effects, everything's there together. It's really cool to see that process. 'Cause it's a long process, and so it's a really, really cool feeling getting to see your voice come out of this character and become so much more epic and real. So,
thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Next up, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Miranda Mullet. I'm from Kirkland, Washington, and my question is for Travis. Travis, who's your favorite character you've ever played?
Oh, jeez. Ever?
Mostly for voice acting.
Okay, I think I will go with Grog, because, we were really lucky in the game in that we got to make up the characters, and any character that has a 6 intelligence and is not expected to be smart in any way, I'm a big fan of. So it was great to play a character that just had no filter, so the stupid shit that just pops up in your mind. Stuff. The stupid stuff. You can see where Grog is, just like me. I really enjoy that because it's just, it's a lot of fun to play. Yep.
Thank you.
Forgot to say it is PG-13, so. All right, go ahead over here.
Hey guys, my name is Shane. I'm from North Idaho. My burning question is kind of for whoever has the best response.
All right, audience, let's hear it.
All right.
Pick somebody, come on.
Okay, I'll do Laura. If you were hired on to do a show where you were a pizza, what toppings would you have?
That's a really good question.
It's not.
I personally believe that if I were a pizza in an animated series, that my toppings would be pineapple. Thank you. And probably like pepperoni because I'm all American.
Together?
And cheese. I don't know.
Pineapple and pepperoni together at once. That's heresy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, you're up over here. Go ahead.
Hello, my name is...
I'm pregnant. I can have pineapple and pepperoni, guys.
She also eats lemons with lots of salt on them, which is also freaking weird. So.
It's delicious.
They're really
my
good.
name is Evelyn, and my question is aimed towards Zach. My question is, can we impersonate the scene when Steven locks Peridot in the car? After when he says you've been trapped by the most intelligent device on planet Earth, the child safety lock.
You've been trapped by the most advanced device on planet Earth, the child safety lock.
What? No. Oh, what?
I'm sorry, I won't lock you in again.
No, what? No, you can't do this to me. Why are you doing this to me? The great and lovable Peridot.
Just call me a Claude and it'll be okay.
You Claude.
Yes.
You traded yourself for Metaclaude.
Watch out, Shelby Rabara.
Watch out, Shelby.
Good job. Excellent.
Good job.
Thank you.
You're awesome.
All right, next up, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Jessica, and I'm from Spokane, Washington. I would love to ask a question to all of you, but I won't. I would like to focus it toward Laura. And my question is, was there ever a time that you came close to quitting or giving up? And what did you do, or what did you hear, advice-wise, to get you back on track?
Oh, gosh. I think anybody that's pursuing acting has had a time when they thought about giving up. Because it's always, there's always going to be ups and downs. It's a roller coaster. And there were several times that I thought that I wouldn't be able to support myself or I wouldn't be able to keep going. But then I just remembered that this is what I love. This is my passion. You know, I always thought that if I created something else that I could fall back on, then I maybe would. So I focused wholeheartedly on this career, and you know, it pays off. So just keep pushing forward and remember that rejection is all part of the game.
Good times, right? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next up, go ahead, man.
Hi, my name is Charlie. I'm from St. Paul, Minnesota, and I've got a request for Laura Bailey. I've got this D20 here. Can I give it to you?
I will always accept D20s.
Yes. Okay, a little explanation. I am very, very cursed. All the dice I touch never roll well. I've cursed my friend's dice,
Well,
stuff
then
like
why
that.
the hell are you giving me a dice that you're holding?
Because I want to see how it goes.
Okay, okay.
Also, keep
Are
away
you
from the other
serious
dice
right
to
now?
keep it safe.
No, don't bring that over here. You know what? I'm sorry. Veto. I have a veto.
But what if it's pretty, Kari? What if it's a pretty one?
Oh my God, this is bad.
Do it, get it, please.
I'm not gonna touch it. All right, here. You know what? Here, come here.
In the hat. Put it in the hat.
Don't touch it.
Put it on your head. That's a biohazard.
Is it? What does it look like?
It's emerald green.
Ooh, I like emerald green. Emerald is
What do you roll?
17.
What do you roll?
Double zero.
Hey!
So that's the
I rolled
trick.
a
Just
17.
don't touch it when you roll.
Yeah,
it.
don't touch it when you roll. Now I gotta wipe this hat out.
Thank you for the gift. You'll get Kari's dry cleaning
I
bill
don't
later.
have one this color, so thank you.
All right.
Next up over here, go ahead.
Love you, David. I'm Jess from Seattle. Could I get a random conversation between Snake and Vamp?
Vamp, I can't believe you're back.
Well, look what I found. My queen will be so delighted.
Let me just ask you one thing.
Yes, Snake.
What's a vampire doing in this game?
Well, I may or may not be a vampire. I may or may not be alive. I may or may not be gay or straight. I am an enigma wrapped in a riddle, wearing a trench coat.
Well, you're pretty ambiguous. And scene.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Go ahead over here.
The
Hi, my
sexiest
name
thing I've
is-
ever heard.
Oh. Hi, my name is JC. I'm from Everett. And to my friends over there, if you don't record this, you know what's going to happen after this.
Damn!
My question is for Jeremy, and it's, if voice acting hadn't worked out for you, what do you think you'd be doing? Because I've had a lot of things that I've done and then just like immediately dropped after. So like, if voice acting didn't work, what would you do?
McDonald's.
What a mood.
Seems like a good gig, you know, pretty easy. Not a, just kind of flip some burgers. I don't know.
That's a mood.
Honestly, I started from such a young age that I have no clue. I started acting when I was like 5 or 6, so I don't really know what I would do outside of entertainment. I haven't given that a whole lot of thought.
Well, if it wasn't practical, what's like your dream job?
Oh,
Besides
Jedi Knight.
All right. Nice.
How are the
Thank
health
you.
benefits on that one? The health benefits, I mean, it's not the best.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Next up, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Preston. I am from Spokane, Washington. And thank you. My question is for Travis.
Yeah, same shirt, baby. Whoa!
Hey! I have an intelligence of 6. I know what I'm doing. If you could go back to when you were first starting out as a voice actor, what's one piece of advice you would have given yourself?
Oh gosh, learn how to talk in front of a microphone. I was really bad when I started out. I came from a theater background, so I would just like to wander around the room and do this sort of stuff. The directors, for the love of God, stay still. So that was a big part of it. Another thing was just be more bold in your choices in the beginning. Like play with impersonations and learn from other actors. Try and see what you're capable of doing. One thing it took me a long time to figure out was that you can really pull from some excellent actors that are around you. Try and mimic the things that they do and see what you're capable of doing in return. The more bold you are in those sorts of explorations, the more it'll pay off later. So just be bold.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah. My manwich.
Next up, go ahead.
My manwich.
Give it a little more bass. A little more bass.
No one can do it like him.
Hi, my name's Bailey, and I have a question for Laura Bailey. I'm from Vancouver, Canada.
I love your sweater.
Oh, thank you. It's lemongrass.
It's so cute.
Nice.
I'm a screenwriter, and I do a lot of work in the editing room, and I had a question about how to help voice actors kind of find the character and what advice you can kind of give directionally wise in order to make the product the best that it can be.
Oh, gosh.
Just like your own opinion.
It's weird because every actor is different. So what cues some actors will be completely different for others. I think just be as descriptive as you can in you know, the voice print that you're looking for. And really keep in mind, you know, that if you're gonna give like a celebrity reference or something like that of like, this is what I'm thinking, just remember what the celebrity actually sounds like as opposed to what they look like, you know? Like if you're saying I want like an Angelina Jolie vibe, physically, as opposed to her voice, because it's very different than what you would imagine. And then just be open at the same time for different interpretations, because a lot of times the things that you might have in your head, you can find something even better out there, and it matches in a completely different way. So I don't know if anybody else has.
I'm a screenwriter. I would say, well, first of all, it really helps to say your dialogue out loud, because dialogue that reads well does not necessarily speak well. You know, a lot of times you'll want it simpler than you think. You know, you don't want to show off with your writing. You want to be as clear as possible in the emotion of it. I mean, the writing can be, you know, and should have subtext. It's not, you know, you don't want to say directly what you're saying. Usually an actor is, you know, coming at it from another angle. And
You can always tell when you are reading lines in a scene and you know they haven't said it out loud.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and these sort of loopy, show-offy sentences, and it just doesn't read well. And basically, you know, feel the character as you write it, so that the more fire you feel, you know, coming to a point, the more that will be communicated to the actor.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you for the question. Next up, over here.
Hi, I'm Al. I'm from San Francisco, but I'm living here.
Oh, cool.
My question.
Woo woo!
My question is for Kari. I know that you grew up in Georgia, and so my question is for someone that is currently living outside of the Hollywood animation mecca.
Right.
How would you go about getting noticed by casting directors and the like?
Well, you know what? I'm from Georgia, and when I graduated from high school, I moved to Dallas, Texas, to go to school for theater. Yeah, I went to SMU. Yeah. TCU. Shut up, really? Yeah. Horn Frost. Yeah, baby. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay. All right. Anyway, yeah. So I went to school in Dallas and did a lot of theater, and then I moved to LA a few years later, and the thing that I would say is I wasn't worried about getting attention from casting directors per se. I was interested in telling the stories that were in front of me, and feeding my soul in that way. If you're say on YouTube or you're doing something like that, forget about the casting director. Tell your story. Tell a story that you can speak with passion and that will sustain you when nobody's watching and nobody's giving you any money. Because the thing is that when I started off, I didn't have any of this, and I didn't care, because I was doing what I loved, right? And then slowly but surely, you know, these jobs that were just feeding my soul and not feeding my belly started to feed my belly a little bit and feed my soul, and now they do a little bit of both. But way before other people would call me successful, I was kicking ass in my own life, right? Because I was always living with passion. So tell your story, tell it with passion, and people will watch. People will listen, right?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next up, over here.
Hi, my name is Oliver. I'm from Vancouver, British Columbia. This is for Travis. I was wondering, have you ever gone through auditions, casting, you've made it to the booth, you're a couple takes in, and the voice director says, this isn't working, change it, throw the character out the window?
Yeah, all the time.
Oh, okay.
That happens all the time. Yeah, I mean that's one of the. Laura mentioned it earlier. Get comfortable with rejection. It'll just make you better. One of the things you learn is you have to be extremely pliant. You might have an idea of exactly who the character is, what he sounds like, and you give it to them, and they're like, nah, ain't feeling it. Needs to be younger, needs to be older, needs to be more gruff. How do you feel about a European accent? You're like, okay. And you just got to be able to try and roll with it, right? And sometimes you'll be able to click, and it's money, and you get to vibe with them, and it works. And other times, you just take a left turn, and you just keep going down the wrong road, and time's up, right? And that just means that day that maybe you take with you when you went home, maybe I need to polish up on those accents. Maybe I need to be a little bit more, understanding of what another opinion on a character might be, and you'll learn and be better the next time. So even if it goes crazy like that, you've learned something, and you'll be better for the next one. But that happened to me plenty of times, yes.
Thanks very much.
Thanks a lot, man. Next up, go ahead.
Hi, this is Randy Pruitt from North Pole, Alaska.
Cool.
My question is for Laura. With the impact of YouTube, do you think it's viable to start out as a YouTube star and then break into voice acting, or do you think you should still go to acting school?
Well, I mean, honestly, I know there are a lot of people that get cast because, they were what is called an influencer, A lot of times in shows now, people are really attracted to those social numbers. But the thing is if you've come at it only from that angle, then there's a good chance that once you get in the room, you're not going to get in that room again. So my advice is to pursue acting like it was a career and really study it and train in it. And then if you happen to be doing online stuff as well, killer, you can do both, but don't just rely on those social numbers because they're not going to be able to sustain amongst all these other talented people in the room,
Mm-hmm.
Can I add on
Thank
that
you.
real quick?
Yeah.
It's the platforms online should be auxiliary. So it's you're taking the talent of the craft that you've been working on and you're putting it on there for the world to see, almost as a pre-audition to get people's attention. And it's what you love to do. You're putting it out to the world rather than just working on that and trying to find your way later. It's have that be your work until something else approaches you. Like he was saying earlier, just tell your story and use that as the medium.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Emma. I'm from Seattle. My question is for Kari, but it actually comes from a 7-year-old named Colin who wasn't able to come. He really wants to know what Cyborg is getting for Beast Boy for his birthday.
So adorable.
I've been working on it for a long time. I decided that I would take some bread and wait for it to get real hard and sticky and make like a tiny little Beast Boy and a tiny little cyborg so that we could play with them and then afterwards we could eat them because we always hungry.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next up, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Katie, and I'm from Columbus, Ohio. My question is, can you sing the song Waffles?
I don't know if I can sing the song Waffles. Let's see. What, can you speak Waffles?
Waffles, waffles, waffles.
Waffles, 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 waffles.
Waffles, waffles, waffles.
Waffles, 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 waffles.
Waffles.
Waffles. Waffles, 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 waffles. Now, the funny thing is, I think you're the first kid on a panel that has asked me to do that. Normally, it's like 40-year-old dudes. So, lovely to meet you.
She is a 40-year-old. That's just amazing cosplay.
Oh, my God. Did you use Neutrogena? What is it? You look amazing, adorable. Thank you for your question.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Next up.
Hi, I'm Chi De La Villa from Tukwila, Washington. Hello again. Specifically for Travis, I was wondering, getting started in voice acting in regards to education. What kind of classes or schooling did you take when you were first starting out?
Oh no. I actually didn't take any specific college classes for voiceover. I think we had one specific week or two while I was an undergrad at TCU where we had a guy that did some voiceover in Dallas, and he brought some scripts, and you talked in front of a microphone, and I just bombed it. It was just terrible. So I mean, in formal training, to piggyback off of what Laura said, I think it's really important not just to focus on the voiceover aspect of it, because a lot of people get locked into doing reads like this, and then a lot of times you'll hear that they want that natural read, and that's not what that is. So, you know, developing character, playing with other people, being able to improvise, being able to take direction, those are all things that you'll get in a class setting that I think is so important, because when you're in the booth, they're ready to rock. Time is money, all those things that you hear, so you need to be able to like move quickly and move through the progression of.
You study like musical theater and stuff like that. I mean,
Yeah.
all those kind of things like help improve your range and your vocal
That's
control
true.
and all that kind of stuff.
That's true. Yes, we always recommend like voice lessons if you feel like singing isn't something you're great at. That range is. I know you guys. Everybody sings up here, right?
Yeah, and there's no such thing as you can't sing. You know, if you're singing a song from your heart, some of the what you would call the worst singers I ever heard, but they sang from their heart, and it's just tears running down my face. You know, it really is about where you're coming from, how you let your imagination manifest. You know, it's not all about the voice. It's really what's in your head. It's really what's in your head.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Oh, and good luck with that die I gave you.
Thank you. Yeah, I know.
19. See, there you go.
19? Yeah, you know, maybe it's not so bad.
Next up, go ahead.
All right. Hi, my name is Lindang, and I'm from Olympia, Washington. And my
Your
question.
pickup lines are fire, bro.
Oh, thank you. All right, my question is for Travis.
Oh no.
So this is my favorite question to ask voice actors. So, if there was to be like a video game or an animated TV show or movie about voice actors, but you could not voice your own character, who would you want to voice you?
To voice me?
Yes.
Oh, jeez. I want like, yeah. I mean, if it's like a movie,
No pressure.
I'd love John Hamm to be me. I mean, just give me somebody handsome. Damn, like do me a favor.
But what about voice-wise? Who would you want?
Voice-wise? Gosh, I don't know. That's tough. Warburton?
Oh.
You sound like Patrick Warburton, eh? Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that in a second.
All right, awesome. Thank you.
There you go. Next up, over here.
I just want Charlie Adler to make fun of me on the mic.
Go ahead, sweetheart.
That'd be great.
Hi, my name is Ryan, and I'm from Washington, Bonnie Lake. And my question is for Zach. What's your favorite song that you did on Steven Universe?
For sure, both of you from Mr. Greg, the musical episode we did. It was one of the first songs that I sang that I was finally like comfortable with my post-puberty voice. And also, it was such an important song for that episode. You know, the relationship between Pearl and Greg is one of the most fascinating on the show to me, and it plays a key part in Steven growing up in that with that tension around, and he just wants them to get along and love each other, like he knows they can. And that was a shade of singing for Steven that we hadn't seen before. Plus, that episode is friggin' gorgeous, and has my favorite song from the show. By Pearl and Rebecca Sugar, it's Over, Isn't It? That is my favorite song from the show overall, from anyone.
And also, can Glitter Lucky say hi to Cheyenne? She's my friend.
Hey, she's a little girl.
She's like 6, dude.
Glitter Lucky, say hi to Cheyenne.
Yeah.
Hey Cheyenne, it's Glitter Lucky.
She's a big fan. Thank you.
Awesome.
You follow the rules, but it's a little girl. Come on.
Rules are rules, okay? I don't care, she's a cute little girl.
Who said that? Stand up. It's this guy. Follow the friggin' rules.
Next up, go ahead.
I have begrudging respect. Thank you.
You're up, go ahead.
Hi,
Hi, my name's Angel, and I'm from Washington, Kirkland. My question is for Jeremy and Zach. I was wondering, do you ever find yourself
Are we supposed to boo on that, guys?
Well, yeah. Okay, you can boo on me. It's okay. But
You gotta pick one. You gotta pick one.
All right,
Audience will
fine.
yell at you.
Fine, I'm sorry, Zach. It's Jeremy.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Savage.
You're both great.
How
You're
could
both
this
great.
happen to me?
But my question is, do you ever find yourself kind of maturing with your character or learning lessons from your character?
I mean...
I think that's your answer.
How do I frame this?
No. Not in a, maturing, I guess, yes, because at least for Adventure Time specifically, when I started, I was 12. And so you can basically, actually, literally hear my voice growing up throughout the 8 years that I recorded that show. So in that aspect, yes, which is pretty cool. But as far as like life lessons and all those things, I don't know how I'm ever going to apply the lesson of how to kill a dragon in real life. I don't know if that really gets in there or not.
I guess emotionally, development.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of weird because a lot of the stuff that you'll see on the show, I either have already like learned right prior to that from whatever's happened in real life. And I've been lucky enough to have a lot of really good, just great friends, great influences, solid parents bringing me up. And so whether I learned from my older brothers doing stupid things or from myself doing stupid things or whatever, I've had a good group of people around me that have been there to encourage me, tell me when I was being dumb in real life. And so I don't know if there's anything ever specifically in the show that did that, but I still went through anything that anybody else would go through in their life. It just wasn't really from the show as much. But
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Where were you on that one with the boo? Seriously. All right, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Kennedy. I'm from Bonnie Lake, Washington, and I have a question for Zach. What is your favorite line from Steven Universe and why?
Okay. I'm gonna go with, if you need a great actor, you've come to the right guy. Because the whole like Italian accent thing, like Peter Pizzapopoulos, and like him just doing dumb, like saying arrivederci. That's one of my other favorites. At the end of Steven and the Stevens, that all came from Rebecca found out that I'd been taking Italian classes over summer in high school, and it was like, oh, I can use that, and just started writing it in everywhere. I'm not Italian. Steven is not Italian, but somehow that happens all the time. So that's always fun.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next up, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Joelle. I'm from Point Roberts, Washington. Ooh, a cheer. Cool. It's a really weird unknown place. So Point Roberts has a population of 1,000 year-round, and it's 1 hour away from Vancouver, BC, but I'm not Canadian. Oh, this is for Phil Lamar, sorry. And so I need to move in order to do film, since I can't be in Canada. And so where do I move to, and what do I do once I've moved there?
Oh, man.
Wow.
Nice. Yeah, Phil. What did
Have
you
fun,
do?
buddy. All right, you take this one.
Phil, do me next.
So you're American.
Yes.
And so you can't go to where all of the work is, which is an hour away from you.
I know, it sucks.
That's such a bummer. And with 1,000 people, I'm guessing the community theater scene is probably not thriving.
There's like mostly old people and little tiny kids, so there's nothing
Like
happening
short
there.
guys or like kids? Are they all really short men? Is that what you're saying, like little tiny dudes?
Like,
or?
For community things to do together, it's mainly for old people and little tiny children and
Interesting.
not young adults.
So do you have a performance background or
Yes.
performance training?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know, where does she go?
Where should she move?
Are you really, really good?
Yes.
Confidence.
I mean, Hawaii is really nice. Do you want to go there? I'm just saying, if you're moving, you know, sunny.
To do film mainly. Where do I move to do film?
You move to LA.
Yeah.
Move to LA and you bolster yourself. You know what? The first year in LA is literally, you can hear in the wind Los Angeles telling you to leave. They're like, 100,000 other people just came here trying to do the same thing. Go back home. And you just have to put your head down and not listen. And it's a big place, and there's a place for you there where you can be happy. But it's huge, and you gotta find your place. And you gotta suck it up and resolve to every time you get knocked down to get back up. So I would say, get your head ready for that.
Yeah.
Then you'll know you're ready to go.
Sounds good.
Yeah. There you go.
If you really let it can be the promised land for anybody that's an artist or performer.
Yeah, if you're ready.
Yeah, if you're mentally prepared for, like you were saying earlier, rejection is part of the process, Travis. Like, that's the #1 thing in LA that people get dejected. There's like a die-off, if you will. It's 6 months, 1 year, and 2 years. And if you get past that, you're a Los Angelino, and it's home.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. All right, next up, go ahead.
Hello, my name is Cameron, and this is a hard one because it kind of applies to everyone, so I had to pick one. Hey,
You guys are paying attention.
I had to pick one. So as a Critter fan here with my Vox Machina shirt, yeah, I had to pick between 3, and I picked Travis, the text blade here. But it's actually on voice acting. So, what got you through it? What got you through the early parts? It relates a lot to the last question. What gets you through that? What was your motivator? What powered you through? What was your passion, more or less?
Oh, I just knew that I could get better, right? You have to have a firm sense of self-belief. And I knew that I was super rough. I knew that I wasn't very good, but I knew that I could do better. I've seen myself grow, whether it was in high school theater productions and seeing older classmen and going like, oh, I wish I could do what they do. I wish I could tap dance like that. I wish I could sing like that, and learning those things. And then going to college and seeing those upperclassmen and going like, man, I want to be able to recite lines like that or move people in that way with my performance. And eventually I learned to do those things. And getting to Los Angeles, it's an even bigger jump. You know, the world is wide open in front of you. So as long as you're committed to getting better and you have that drive and that hunger, and as long as you believe in yourself, right? Because nobody else is going to tell you, yeah, you can do it, right? Nobody's going to do that. Like Kari said, when you're alone, it's just you and yourself. And once you're resolved there, you just every day commit yourself to getting better at something tiny, something medium, something big, and you just take one little piece at a time. And as long as you're able to do that, you'll get to where you want to go.
All right, thank you.
Right on.
Thank you. Next up, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Nathan. I'm from Bremerton, Washington. Thank you. My question is for Laura. So out of the characters that you've auditioned for and didn't get,
Oh, gosh.
which one do you regret the most?
Oh, geez. Y'all,
Tear open the wound. Way to bring down the room.
like,
Just
the
a
amount
happy
of
question.
roles that all of us, we get auditions, like, so many auditions a week, and you might not get any of them, and you might get one a month. Who knows? So there's a ton that have come through that I haven't gotten. I guess the one, gosh, any of the BioWare roles that I auditioned for,
yeah.
it didn't happen because I've auditioned for so many freaking things. I just love those games so much. So I'm very grateful to have been a part of any of them. But yeah, there have been a couple of those roles, like a player character, something that I wish that I could have been. But I'm pretty happy with the other things that I've done. So. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
I just want to say I auditioned for. Thank you. I auditioned for the young cowboy hero role in The Quick and the Dead, but they gave it to Leonardo DiCaprio.
Robbed, David.
I know.
Robbed.
I really was. I nailed that too. I was like, they can't do better than this.
They really botched that casting choice, huh?
That kid's going
All right.
nowhere.
Moving on. Go ahead.
My name's Victor, and I'm from Seattle.
Hey, Victor. Victor won.
Victor's a bit of a flirt.
Well, I have a question for David Hayter. Would you say there are any major differences for auditioning or just voice acting in general when it comes to video games versus any other medium?
That is a good question. Are there differences? Well, I think there's very much a difference between auditioning for voiceover and auditioning for on camera. You know, video games are so cinematic now, it's essentially like doing an animated film or role. You know, somebody was saying, I think it was Kari, it's a little more, there's a little more emphasis, there's a little more clarity of who the character is that comes through the voice, whereas in on camera, you know, if you're doing it right, it's pretty subtle. And in voiceover, it's for me anyways, it's a little more amped up. And that's pretty much it. I mean, really, but I really love what Kari said about finding your own story, meaning really figure out who you are and what elements are interesting about you, whether it's, you know, geekiness or strength or courage or wise-assery or whatever, you know, whatever mix goes into what you are, that's what will sell you in an audition. So, yeah, to come back to your question, just figure out, you know, listen to great voice actors and then watch great on-camera actors and you'll see the difference.
Wait, can I piggyback on
I wish you would, yeah, please. I've run out of steam.
In terms of video game versus animation particularly, one of the big differences audition-wise is, generally speaking, you get more information on an animation project. Like, you may get a whole scene, maybe even a whole script. You never get a whole script in a video game. You want to get the name of the real name of the character. Yeah. You know?
And sometimes not even that.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of times you have to, like, what was it? I remember when we were doing Shadow of Mordor, it was like all of this, like, you're playing a prince in a kingdom, you know, and then underneath it says, he's battling orcs. Like, wait a minute. Yeah. What kingdom are you battling orcs? All right, we get what this is. So basically, the video game audition requires you to create a lot more of the world in your imagination, whereas I think for animation, they give you what you're working with a lot more. So in that sense, at least for me, there's a little more work to be done on the video game side in order to bring it to life.
Just a little bit more improv sort of thing in regards to character creation?
Not so much improv as much as, like, they just give you a line. It's like, let's go. You have to figure out who you're saying let's go to, who you are, you know, do you have an undertone of fear behind it? You have to make a lot of choices. Whereas with an animation script that gives you a lot of description and everything, those choices are made for you.
I get you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Folks, last question. After this, they're all going to be at their table signing after this, so please come down and see them over the hotel behind us at the Sheridan. Last question.
Hi, my name is Gavin. I'm from Malley Terrace, Washington. This is for David Hayter. I was just wondering, how did you build your relationship with Hideo Kojima? Like, how did you meet him, and how did you get involved in the process of working on Metal Gear Solid?
I don't have a relationship with Hideo. Oh. Hideo Kojima, for those of you who don't know, is the creator of the video games Metal Gear, which are amazing, and I was in, and a bunch of us were in. He wasn't there for the English language recording of the games. You know, he focuses on the Japanese versions of the games, and the English language versions are directed by a woman named Chris Zimmerman, who we all know and love and is amazing. Hideo came to visit a few times and would show me little bits of the game and you know, was very nice and very polite, but we never really worked together. I mean, I've met him 3 times over the past 15 years, so, and once was by accident. He didn't look too happy to see me. Yeah, so I didn't really have, and then as far as getting the job, I was called in by Chris Zimmerman to audition in this weird little house in Hollywood that had been converted into a sort of a sound stage. And I just read for it, and then Jennifer Hale called me and said, you know, guess who's going to make some money? And I was like, is it me? Because I really hope it's me. And it was.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
That was it. Thank you very much, folks. Big round of applause for these folks up here.